Tanaka unleashes his great power, but Haruka doesn't back down. Tanaka tells him that he knows Haruka only has the weakest skills from the White Room and doubts he can defeat him with just that. Behind him, multiple portals open and several stones shoot out of them. Tanaka activates his meddling ability, releasing a sound wave from his mouth that reaches Haruka, visibly affecting him. The girls hear the news that Haruka is facing Tanaka alone. Worried, the class representative wants to go help him, but the leader of the athletes stops her, assuring her that Haruka can handle it. The stones impact the ground. Haruka tries to run, but can barely move. It's the effect of the meddling ability. Tanaka congratulates him on dodging so far, but doubts he can keep it up. With another spell, he makes sharp minerals burst from the ground. Haruka keeps dodging the attacks. Tanaka praises him, admitting he's not as weak as he thought. Before continuing the fight, he asks Haruka when he started suspecting him. Haruka replies that it was from the beginning, since seeing someone smart and solitary like him among bullies made him suspicious. Haruka asks how long he's been planning it. Tanaka answers that it's been from the start, ever since he lost his looting ability. But he had everything sorted once he gained his interference ability. He makes weeds sprout from the ground, trapping Haruka's foot. Then, Tanaka casts a fire spell that hits directly. Tanaka thinks that was a disappointing end, but suddenly notices his magic is being absorbed. Haruka is still standing, and he admits he wasn't sure if that would work, but he's glad it did. Now, he decides it's his turn to attack. He takes advantage of Tanaka's lowered guard and lack of weapons, running towards him and striking with his cane. But Tanaka materializes a large sword blocking the blow. He admits he can manage if his offensive magic fails, and only took a moment to decide which weapon to finish him off with. A sword appears, then a spear, but he decides to use all the weapons he has, summoning several around him. He starts attacking with a great sword, then a hammer. Haruka struggles to dodge and block the attacks. More weapons appear, and Haruka is overwhelmed. Tanaka attacks relentlessly, and Haruka can barely block. His strikes are constant and rapid, leaving Haruka without an opening to counterattack. He asks Tanaka if he has so many abilities because he used the copy ability on other class members. Tanaka admits it and is surprised Haruka noticed. Haruka then asks if he intends to go after the class representative to steal her authentic skills. Tanaka once again admits it, confessing that he wants to steal all the overpowered abilities in the world to become the most powerful. Tanaka summons a scythe and launches a ranged attack that Haruka narrowly blocks, though only by luck. As the fight progresses, Tanaka's attacks become even stronger. Haruka tries a counterattack but only hits empty air, as Tanaka uses an illusion to confuse him. Haruka lowers his guard and admits there's nothing he can do. Tanaka, enjoying his apparent surrender, raises his sword and prepares to deliver the final blow. But Haruka reveals it was a joke and dodges effortlessly, asking if Tanaka can only use each ability 3 times. Annoyed and fearful, Tanaka tries to counterattack, but Haruka takes his frustration as confirmation of his theory. Tanaka materializes more weapons, wondering why he can't seem to land a hit anymore. Haruka now dodges and blocks with ease. He reveals that he figured out the weakness of the copy ability and admits he deliberately provoked Tanaka to attack in bursts to discover it. He noticed Tanaka always attacked twice with each ability, likely fearing he would run out of skills for the fight. Furious, Tanaka tells him that even if he discovered the weakness of the copy skill, he still has his weapon mastery. Haruka dodges the attack, now accustomed to his opponent's speed and fighting style. Finally, Haruka lands a powerful blow with his cane. Now it's his turn to attack, and he strikes multiple times. Haruka knows he must end the fight, preparing to do so confidently, believing Tanaka has no more illusion abilities left. But before he can strike, Tanaka shoots a powerful arrow. Haruka can't believe Tanaka still has so much power and won't go down as easily as he thought. Enraged, Tanaka asks how he could be defeated by a loser like Haruka, and decides it's time to use his trump card, warning that it's the most op ability he's ever had. Tanaka grips a dagger while unleashing a strange power, charging to attack. But this time he moves differently, very much faster. Haruka predicts and blocks a couple of attacks, but suddenly Tanaka disappears. Tanaka attacks from above, but Haruka realizes the trick and dodges as Tanaka shatters the ground and scatters stones everywhere. Haruka understands that these were weak attacks and sees they were only a distraction. Tanaka hides behind a stone and attacks Haruka with his dark ability, confident it will be his end. Darkness envelops Haruka, suffocating him, as the ability is called Death. Haruka falls to the ground, Tanaka laughs in victory but is annoyed that Haruka made him waste several abilities he'd been saving. He doesn't care, because once he has the representative skill, he'll have all the abilities he wants. Tanaka steps on Haruka's head, bidding farewell to his former companion, then turns to head toward the city. But after only a few steps, Haruka tells him he can't just step on someone's head and walk away like it's nothing. Haruka stands, completely unharmed. Tanaka can't believe he's still alive, knowing that no one under level 11 can survive his ability. Haruka tells Tanaka that he has his wellness skill, which slightly counters his attack. He also mentions that his luck stat is maxed out, making the chances of Tanaka's ability working very low. Upon hearing this, Tanaka doesn't understand why he fell unconscious. Haruka confesses that he only pretended a bit, as a reward for Tanaka's great effort in attacking him, though he didn't expect Tanaka to step on his head too. Tanaka doesn't understand how Haruka can be unfazed, especially since he used his restriction ability from the start to limit Haruka's movements. Haruka explains that he has a useless ability called Mannequin, and asks if Tanaka knows what it means. Tanaka calls him a useless idiot, saying the ability suits him. Haruka agrees but adds that it can also be used as a puppet, allowing his movements to be controlled externally, an ability that took him a long time to master. He says that his trash abilities aren't as useless as he once thought. Tanaka refuses to be defeated by someone with leftover skills no one else wanted. He starts attacking again, but Haruka easily blocks him, telling him he's just wasting abilities. Furious, Tanaka attacks with all his strength, but nothing seems to affect Haruka, who tells him that anything he does will be useless. Tanaka asks if Haruka planned everything, as it doesn't make sense for him to defeat him so easily. Haruka explains that those were the rules in their old world. In this new world, things are different. If Tanaka expects the logic of the old world to work in this world of swords and magic, he's very mistaken. Tanaka remembers the old school days. Everything was boring because the classes were too easy for his intelligence, his classmates were too foolish, and he considered it all a huge waste of time. Then it happened. They were all taken to the White Room. For the first time in a long time, Tanaka was excited. As soon as he saw the skill chart, he knew what he wanted. If he used his abilities well, he could finally escape the boredom that plagued him. He knew that the most exciting path was to eliminate his classmates and acquire their abilities. Soon, he would be the most powerful in this new world. But now he doesn't understand how a guy with the most useless abilities managed to beat him. In a fit of rage, Tanaka attacks Haruka again, but Haruka counters, disarming him. It's been a long battle, but Haruka knows it has to end. He goes for the final blow, but a sword suddenly strikes him from behind, flying back into Tanaka's hand. Haruka is confused. He didn't think Tanaka still had hidden abilities. Tanaka thinks victory is within his reach again and attacks Haruka, but Haruka blocks and sends Tanaka to the ground with a strike. Haruka stands, releasing his full power, and tells his enemy that all his powerful abilities made him arrogant and lazy, and he never worked to improve. Afraid, Tanaka tries to attack, but Haruka defeats him with his improvised skill, leaving Tanaka on the ground. Haruka walks away, saying that maybe he doesn't have the best abilities, but he still has his wits. As Haruka walks home, he thinks that was too close. He knows one more mistake could have led to his defeat. The pain was so intense he forgot to keep using his puppet ability, and his improvised ability drained all his energy. Haruka thinks of the class representative and the girls, apologizes, then collapses to his knees, feeling his end is near. He lets himself fall, but someone catches him. It's the nerds, looking at him with joy and excitement. Haruka asks where they've been, and Oda says they didn't want to wait and decided to go find him, as it's now their turn to help. They give him a potion to treat his wounds. They walk back together, and Oda explains that when they returned to the city from a mission, everyone was worried about Haruka and his fight with Tanaka. Unable to stay idle, they entered the forest to find him. When they arrive in the city, they are greeted by the class representative and all the girls, who welcome him back and scold him for worrying them so much. The athletes are also there, congratulating him on his victory. After the congratulations, the girls want to take him to the inn so he can bathe and rest to recover. The girls finally apologize to Oda and the nerds for having kicked them out of the camp, despite their innocence. Haruka knows he kept the class representative and the girls safe, and now that everyone is back together, he feels he has nothing more to do there. A loner should be alone, so he sneaks away to return to the forest. But the class representative catches him and scolds him for trying to abandon them again, especially while he's so injured. She hugs him, asking why he wants to leave her again, saying she worried so much about him and is scared that he might leave and not come back. Haruka apologizes and asks if he made her cry again. She replies that he didn't, since she's so happy he came back alive, though she warns him he'll be punished by all the girls. If you've reached this point in the video, don't forget to leave the word exquisito in the comments. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.